Welcome to Forever Exiled, the Path of Exile podcast. I'm Justin, a.k.a. Tags.
Tyler, Record of Days.
Episode 134
It is.
of Forever Exiled.
Welcome to our podcast.
Yep. I was trying to think of like what after you say welcome, what's funny to follow that with, like, but I lost it.
We're
I don't
not
think I
funny.
ever had it. Don't think I ever had it.
No, you've never been funny.
Guy. Hilarious.
The guy in the $3,000
shoot.
Arrest Development. There's some
Job.
good stuff in that last season, even though there wasn't.
Was that the last season for that
Pretty
part?
sure.
I don't think.
Pretty sure.
No,
Yeah, that was with Ben Stiller and stuff, right?
I don't remember.
Like not that specific scene, but
I don't
pretty
remember.
sure
I
it was
also, it is going to work fine, but I hate Discord.
what's
I don't
happening?
Nothing. It's fine, but I'm hearing just a slight like ducking in your audio. It's not going to affect your recording.
Ducking?
When I talk, you just the whole thing that Discord sometimes does, where it drops the
I
volume
hate
of the
it.
other
It's
person,
so inconsistent.
and we have all the settings turned off. Like Discord, just let us talk. Don't do anything else. You're not in charge. Just be the medium, allowing us to communicate. That's it.
If you ever hear me dip down, just laugh after if you don't hear something that I said.
It's
because
gotta be
probably gonna
hilarious.
funny. I know.
Yeah.
It is.
Hilarious. Big shout out to our patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast and being super duper awesome. And if you're curious what Patreon is, it gets you access to our After Dark, which is our podcast after the podcast, and a card and a sticker should you provide information.
And Daniel, I wrote your card this week, and I'm sorry. I wrote a couple cards this week, but I made a mistake, and I couldn't white it out because my house is in boxes, and I couldn't find the white. I couldn't find the box with the whiteout. Didn't know which one it was. So Daniel,
Did you scratch it out?
I had to. It was one of those, like, I've made one or two mistakes out of all the cards we've written. I've made one or two mistakes, but the kind where you can fix it. You still know it's a mistake, but you still like, it doesn't look that bad. So I'm like, fine. I haven't needed whiteout yet. Maybe I have. Anyway, Daniel, I'm sorry I couldn't find the whiteout.
I haven't seen that card yet, so I'm going to make sure to draw big arrows towards the mistake.
Oh man, I would love it if I dropped it off on Sunday 5 days ago and you still haven't checked your mailbox.
Did you drop stuff off to me?
Yeah. I sent you a gift that says you got mail.
Did you?
Yeah. Okay, Daniel, looks like I'm writing you another card.
No, it might still be there. I'll check. That's so weird.
Yeah. It's like your mailbox has a lid that you can open, look inside.
Let me just go look.
He's actually moving his sound blanket away from his office door and going to go check his mailbox. Well, anybody remember Saturday morning cartoons? I mean, the ones I used to watch, it was like that dog with the fire hydrant and the brick wall behind it. And it would be like, after these messages, we'll be right back. Something like that. Probably sounds exactly like that. Anyway, this is also a lot what After Dark is like. So if you just like completely random stuff where Justin just leaves in the middle to go fill up his drink or something, that's this. And you get a lot of, little monologues, pointless monologues, except nothing's grinding our gears. So there's nothing important to talk about. Oh, here he comes. Oh, he got them.
So were there newspapers in my mailbox when you put them in there?
No, it was just those.
These were behind some newspapers. There's 2 cards here.
Good. Excellent.
I have
yes,
them.
I dropped
and they're
off
in
2.
fantastic condition.
Excellent.
Oh, I see the mistake. I shall draw arrows when I sign it.
Thank you both for signing up last week. That's absolutely fantastic. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we shouted them out, right?
Yes.
Daniel and Sam?
Yes.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining Patreon. You're super duper. I was going to say something. Can you tell me about your week while I look this up? Because I don't think you messaged me.
Can you tell me about your week while I don't listen about your week?
I'm very good at passively listening to you. I've learned how to do it very well.
No.
Most
I know
of it
you're
doesn't
not listening.
matter.
I know you're not listening.
Okay, hold on. You dropped that off what day?
Oh, I don't know. It was Tuesday or Wednesday.
I don't think you messaged me. Okay, hold on. There's a message.
It's a guy kicking a parcel onto somebody's roof, and it says you got mail.
I literally didn't even say that. It didn't even see that. There's a GIF of a dude just kicking. It looks like a football or it's a parcel to a house, and it just says delivery.
Yeah,
that was on the 27th at 11:52 a.m.
I can't use the same GIF every time, though my favorite is the one with the owl just standing at the window with a letter in its mouth.
That's awesome.
I do have to refrain from using that one.
I missed that gift. Sorry, you need to be a little more specific, or maybe followed up with some real words.
I'll do 3 delivery gifts next time.
I think I normally get them. I normally know that they're there, but this one I did not. So now I have them.
This is a blip on the Justin radar.
Yes, it is a blip. All right, tell me about your week, bud.
Well, I had one. It was crazy. But today's the last day of eating out for 30% of the price, right? Insurance covers 70% of our meals cost. And well, in a way, the floor, it's only the subfloor that's there. But I mean, our appliances are plugged back in. They're cleaning everything up. So it's not, we don't have all the sawdust and stuff. So they're cleaning everything. And then they're not coming back until May 9th. So we got a couple weeks of that. No dishwasher again. We're going back to the old school hand washing everything. There's probably places there where people don't have dishwashers everywhere, where here everybody has dishwashers. It's just a thing. I don't know. So we'll probably sound really lazy to most people. But anyway, yeah, so that's been happening. So it's been quite busy. But you remember you were really awesome when you went to that place where you learned about our game. What's it called? ExileCon, when you went to New Zealand. And you came back and you bought me a whole bunch of stuff. And it was super kind of you. One of them was the squishy Exalted Orb.
Yeah.
You remember? But it's a stress ball. But they don't. One thing that I absolutely love about how GGG does their stuff like that, and I kind of wish I could just see more of it, like it was just in a general store. But it wasn't called a stress ball. It was called a stress orb, because it was just an Exalted Orb, and it was the foam thing. But it was, the stuff you use to squeeze, whether it's for stress or physio or whatever. Anyway, my wife totally screwed up some ligaments in her arm. And couldn't, like, we thought she'd broken some bones as opposed to just like stretched or whatever, some ligaments. And so she went to the hospital, came back. She just needed to, use some of those stress balls and stuff for a few weeks, and things would be back to normal, hopefully. So guess what? We only have one stress orb in the house. So we got to open I was saving this Exalted.
I think mine's still in the pack.
Yeah, I was saving mine. I was like, okay, let's say this cost Justin $20. Well, I'm going to save it for 30 years. And then it's going to be worth $25. So, right? Prime investing right there.
Totally.
Anyway, my schmoops comes first. So I busted open, and it was pretty hard. It was pretty hard, but she's squeezing it. It was awesome to just see an Exalted Orb getting tossed around. My son and my wife playing with an Exalted Orb getting thrown around. So it was kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, that was sweet. That was my week. We have an Exalted Orb kicking around the house because we're rich like that, We just throw Exalted Orbs around, blow our nose in $100 bills. That's what we do, yo. How are you? Your week?
And you're back in your office, sort of.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, it's still concrete. There's still studs. There's no drywall for 2 feet down, but the upstairs now is actually getting finished to the point of where our dining room table, which had to be converted to a desk for the sake of the computer, is now going back into the dining room for 2 weeks. So hopefully it's not too, the sound's not too echoey for you, Mr. Editor, but
no, you're good.
Yeah, we're downstairs now. Got a sound blanket back.
Is there floor or what are you on?
No, it's concrete. Like everything is echoing for you. Bouncing around, having a great time. So yeah.
Sweet. Cool.
Yeah, you can see a little bit, right? And then you can see my
the opening.
Oh, hang on. I can't do camera
LED light. Yeah,
my,
used to have.
My nice IKEA light for $3
special.
That I glued to the wall for crap lighting. Rolling in dough.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you,
cool,
Pinky?
Man.
Nice. I like your hoodie again. I like your clothes. Oh, it's a cutoff.
Yep.
You are so tough, but you're wearing a t-shirt, which is really disappointing.
I'm wearing a t-shirt underneath it. Yeah.
Get out of here. Show us those little soul patches on your delts.
I don't have the hair like you.
You don't? Oh, no. Yeah. I gotta wear some long sleeves.
Relatively hairless, thankfully. But it's from Under Armour, and it's the Rocks collection. And I really liked the color, and it was cool. And I was like, I'm never wearing that thing without a t-shirt underneath, because first off, these are like rock size holes for the arm.
Oh wow, yeah, right? You get some massive
half of that hole. Like this is me here, right? So I feel like half the hole from my arm coming out. So no, it's not an actual. I don't think I would ever wear a cutoff. I feel like I was 18 the last time I wore a shirt.
And it was a No Fear t-shirt, right?
Probably, yeah. Probably something like No Fear or something, right? That's awesome. My week was good.
No Fear and Stussy. I think that was it when we were kids.
Stussy, I remember that, yeah. Oh,
Venice Beach. What's up? All right, anyway, go. You had a week.
Yeah, I did. It was super busy with work. You and I went out for dinner. which was fun.
Oh yeah, it was all romantic and stuff. We talked for a good long time. We closed the place down. That's how romantic that was.
Turned off the lights. Well, they closed at like 9, so
that's enough. Okay, I'm out to bed anyway.
They're like, yeah, you can stay. Don't worry about it. Click, as they turn the lights off. We're like, I think they're sending us a hint. So I went there. It was honestly, it was just mostly work. It was fine though. I did have I had a meeting yesterday, and it was a national meeting. So it was for all across Canada, and there were about 100 people on this call, and it was discussing. It was fine. It was discussing a lot of the stuff that's going on currently, and plans for the rest of the Q2 and Q3 and 4, and what's going to happen for the rest of this year. But the reason I bring it up is because we have a relatively large yearly marketing budget that we have. And I've been saying for years that we need to get more into digital and social media and that kind of stuff, and stop focusing on, just old stuff. And they finally started to do that. And so we're going in Q2, they were talking about this new initiative that's happening. But
are you having a difficult time being generic?
Yes, I have to be. I have to be somewhat careful because some of it's confidential. And so
guess what Justin does for a living. Go.
No. So anyway, but the best part is, because we're going to be doing, and it's a lot of money, and so a lot of it's now going to start going into this digital side of things. But the person who was talking about this new digital initiative, in the screen, they had this breakdown of it, and at the top it said digital something, and then it said Twitch and TikTok. And when I first saw that, I thought, well, that's actually a great idea. Like, get into markets where you can be seen by a lot of people. And listening to her explain to this group of people what Twitch is, and I would say the average age is probably 45. I would say,
okay,
like maybe a little bit higher, maybe 45 to 50 is the average age of the people on this call. And she clearly did not really understand what Twitch was. And so she's explaining like, well, it was bought out by Amazon. They bought it from an individual for $975 million, and it's very popular, and people watch people play games. And she kind of just looks for a second, like as if she's not even sure what she just said. And then other people in this conversation are like, what? People watch people play games, blah, blah, blah. They start going off, and I'm literally rolling my eyes and dying. And then somebody said, well, why would we focus on 12 and 13-year-olds? And I was like, oh my God, you guys are killing me. And someone else said, well, I just looked it up, and apparently they have 13 million people per day that watch. Did you know that there's nearly 3 million streamers? Doesn't that seem really high?
Oh,
not I guess anybody can just do it now, right?
It, and they all have 0 viewers.
Man, I was surprised that it was that high, but
is that like concurrent? Is that for a week? Is that for a month?
No, I don't know what that is. I think they just have, I honestly don't even know if it's true, because this was just someone who was trying to figure out what Twitch was, who clearly just Googled something and was like, what? 13 million people watch it every day.
Well, they better listen to me. What Twitch better listen to me, because if I stop, they're going from 2 million or 2. No,
well, apparently there's some whole new thing happening with Twitch and ads and revenue stuff I was reading about on Twitter, and people are,
some of our people,
if they're freaking out or if they're happy about it. I can't really tell, but something about that you might be able to stream to multiple. I don't know how it all works, because that's not my thing, but
I saw some of the more prominent community members talking about that in PoE land.
Yeah. So anyway, it was quite amusing to hear people who don't know what video games and Twitch are try to talk about it. But anyway, it was a very amusing conversation for me, because I just sat back and listened to the hilarity of people who shouldn't be talking about it try to figure out
it's awesome
what it is. So,
and you were called a 12-year-old by your peons.
Yeah, it's and that again, but that's the thing that kills me with these, and I'm not going to get more into that, because again, I can't talk about that stuff. But it's crazy to me that people aren't that. It's always amused me that we don't spend more money putting stuff on this, which is the device that is in everyone's hand at least half the day. This is where you should be.
Yep.
put every single dollar into being in front of their face on a phone because that's where people spend their time.
But
anyway,
Justin, you could hand out flyers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I get where some of the money goes kills me.
I love watching. The best part about this, I have no idea what people are going to think about this intro, but the best part of this is watching Justin's gears work to try and word things so that he's not saying anything specific.
It kills me.
Oh,
it kills me.
Great.
Also, when she was explaining Twitch, she's like, it's an app that you can get on your phone. And I was like,
It hurts. It
you
hurts.
couldn't have picked somebody else to explain this. Anyway, you know what? My week was actually really good, though. It was busy. I got to do a lot of traveling this week, which was a lot of fun. And
traveling like from here to McDonald's?
Oh, I don't know the last time I've had McDonald's, but no, just like within towns around us. So within like 30, 45 minutes out.
More generic.
Well, even if I said towns, people would be like, what the hell is that word? So no, it was fun. I had a really good week. It was a lot of fun doing a bit of traveling, and it's been busy. And my oldest is preparing to move out. He's looking at moving out. Whoa! So that's a really cool thing. Really excited for him. So I don't think I was ready to have that conversation at, you know, I'm not old.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you're too old for video games, but
apparently I'm too old for video games. That's right. But anyway, I'm excited for him. So he's, we're trying to help him look around and find a place to move out and
nice,
you know, decrease my monthly cost. Ethan, if you're listening. Yeah, no, I'm excited for him though. It's gonna be
he knows
cool,
he still has to pay rent to you when he's gone, right?
Oh yeah. Well, he's been very fortunate. We've not charged him rent. So he's been, but maybe I'll start that once he moves out. Like it's a vacancy tax or something.
Yeah. I sent you a letter. Didn't you get it? You got to sign it.
If you didn't fill out the form ahead of time, if you're from BC, you know what we're talking about. We have a tax, a vacancy tax that you're just automatically, you have to pay it, even if you live in your home, unless you go online and fill out their form to say that you actually live in your home, then they won't charge you the tax.
It's an annual thing that we have to do.
Yeah,
only in BC. It's fantastic. But
yeah, apparently it was going to fix the housing market. Thank God they did that, because boy, did that help.
Yeah, what's the average price of a home now in Lower Maple? Like 1.2 million for a 50-year-old house.
Way higher than that. It's so stupid. But
anyway, for people listening, Justin, like when we're talking, like, and Justin's saying like, oh no, you know, he's been very fortunate. We don't charge rent. Justin is like a disciplinary master. All of his kids are fantastic. So he's got it figured out. When Justin gives parenting advice, you listen.
My kids are pretty good. They're good kids.
They are. They're fantastic.
Yeah. Annoying sometimes, but you know.
And that's your fault.
That is my fault.
That's not an individual thing.
I needed to hit harder.
Oh,
that was the problem.
Darn rules getting in the way.
Yeah, close fist, not open. That was the mistake. Anyway, let's get into Path of Exile. What do we got? What happened this week?
Not a lot, but I have a lot to talk about.
Right? Next week will be exciting.
There was the fun community reactions to the Sentinel teaser. I like it when GGG spotlights community members that are broadcasting, and sometimes I don't know who they are. Sometimes, and just like, you know, oh, what's this? Or someone will maybe make a video about it, you know, like Yoji used to. Not necessarily the same type of thing, but you know, they'll make a video about talk about how cool it is. And so I like that they spotlight that kind of stuff. And you don't always see the same names. I think GGG does a great job there. So that was fun to watch. More concept art for you, Just. Oh, but I loved this concept art. Have you clicked? You got to click on it.
I'm doing it right now.
I love. Now, there's no like correlation or relation to it, but in terms of
nudity. Holy smokes, guys.
Where? Oh, well, look at that little body paint there. No, like I love tiger stuff. Oh my goodness, the tiger thing is so cool. And so I went and I saw that pet's on sale.
Can you get that pet?
Yeah, you
can.
I have that pet? No, well, it's new.
That one.
It's new.
Oh, this is new.
I love the whole like tiger outfit. When you get the zoom in, I love the mask and the feet, like the claw feet.
Is that Mercurial set new, or is this
the Harmonious armor set?
No, Mercurial armor set.
Where are you?
On that one,
down
just
there.
scroll down underneath the tiger.
I don't remember.
New sets?
No, I don't think so.
That looks like an Elden Ring helmet. There's an Elden Ring helmet that looks like that.
Cool.
Huh.
Anyway, I really want the Harmonious Tiger pet and armor set with the
cool.
tiger hood.
You need the hood. Yeah.
I would be willing to spend a lot of money on that, but got to save up for it. But yeah, those are going on my wish list. And
Last chance to
unfortunately,
get Scourge.
Scourge.
But wait, do you have more? Well, you're about to jump. I can tell already. You're about to jump into the. Are you about to jump into the current sale?
Last chance to get Scourge.
Yeah, because Tyler's itching for this one.
Go.
I saw this one and I was like, oh great, Tyler's gonna love this.
Well, no, but like no,
Pets.
Pets
on sale.
Scourge. Fine, we'll go to pets. Goodness me, now I'll go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, Scourge. What was Scourge?
Is it a lot of
this
pets
wasn't
on sale?
Scourge. What's Scourge?
I don't know. That's what you wrote in your notes.
This is Archnemesis. What's Scourge?
Last
was
chance
that
to
last
get
league?
Scourge supporter pack. What?
Wasn't Scourge a league? Scourge, and now it's Archnemesis. Scourge. Yeah, I remember going Scourge. Was that last league? Getting my math all mixed up. Anyway, pets. Every single time I see something that I really like and it just comes out and I put it on a wish list, I just feel like every time I put something on a wish list, it's very soon it's on sale, which normally is a good thing, but I have to save my money for it. So I'm like, no, because now I have to wait for it to go through the whole rotation again. But man,
don't you have a rule of like under 200 points or something? Is that how it works?
Under 20. Well, it's 20 or under.
20 points.
Yeah, like $2. $2 or under. I'll buy every single pet.
Wait, is 200 points $20?
Yeah. Just move the decimal over one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so for us, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But no, anyway. So I buy every pet that's $2 and under in our dollar value. And there wasn't, I had them all that were listed at $2 here, but man, I had spent like 40 minutes going through like it's hideouts and pets. Those are like the two things I think are the coolest things to spend money on. That and then portals. And then maybe like a map device or the stash tab stuff, or like the stash skins, which are part of the hideout thing. So it was awesome. But I spent like 45 minutes last night looking at stuff, and I could have been mapping, but I spent, oh man, it was so fun. Like wish list. And it was pretty good.
Did you wish list stuff that was already on sale?
Yeah, because I don't have the money. For some of the expensive stuff. Everything else. Well, actually, not true. I did buy two things. I always buy a Weta. Every time they're on sale, I buy one. And I want to see how many I end up with, because that's only 20 cents every time they're on sale. And every time they're on sale, I always buy...
They're 2 points? So what?
Yes.
Okay.
Every time they're on sale, I always also buy falling leaves for my hideout. But now it's actually costing me twice as much. Every time falling leaves is on sale, they're 50 cents. But every time they're on sale now that we're doing the guild for Forever Exiled, now I'm spending 50 cents twice because, I'm rich like that. I have an exalted orb floating around the house. So guild members, yes, you'll probably not notice that extra 11th set of falling leaves in our hideout.
There's quite a few pets that are under 20 points.
Billion, yes. But they had so many sales last summer. There was like a crazy sale thing going on. One of their events they were having, they had like crazy amounts of sales that were happening every hour or something. They were huge discounts. So I got most of the $2 and under ones, but yeah, some really cool ones. But I really want that tiger in the Harmonious set. That looks sweet.
I'm assuming that's not on sale. Is that actually even sold yet?
No, the tiger's on sale.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The Harmonious one?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it is Harmonious Tiger Pet, 210 points.
$21, eh? But I also want a new hat.
It says this deadly tiger will accompany you on your travels, but last time I checked, they're not very deadly.
And they can only accompany me if I have
would love to see
$21.
them attack, but not do damage.
Wouldn't that be fun? They interact,
just to see them like get as part of it.
Yeah.
They don't have to do damage, because then it is pay to win. I would buy like a stronger one, but it'd be fun to see.
Or a pigeon. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah. It'd be fun to see them just like pretend to attack something.
Yeah, it would be. And then you could just have a little thing that says all actions are cosmetic or something. I don't know how that would work, but yeah.
It doesn't have to actually do anything.
Got a Weta. Got some leaves.
Ooh, that's cool.
I'm the kind of player, though, I don't know if there's a lot of people like me or if I'm in the minority, but I feel like I would spend way more money I think I would spend way more money in GGG store if they had the completely opposite approach of everything's a lot cheaper and we just want to sell a lot of it. You know what I mean? For example, I would love that tiger. And if they were $10 each, I'd buy two. I don't just like how that mentality works with me. I would easily buy 2. I'd easily give them $20, but I'm having a hard time spending $21 on a digital tiger that I'm only going to use sometimes on some of my characters. So I'm the kind of player where I see the value when I'm like, yeah, I'll accidentally, or like, oh yeah, it's only $5. Oh yeah, it's only $10. But anytime it's more expensive, I'm way more hesitant to spend the $20. I don't see it as, okay, I could have 1 for 20 or 2 for 20 type of thing. As I'm still spending $20. I see it as, yeah, it's only $5 this time. Yeah, it's only $10 this time. And so I think I would have spent,
because those purchases are, for the most part, almost every purchase through GGG is a one-time purchase. Most of the time, you're buying whatever that thing is one time. You're not going to, most people aren't buying 2 of a single pet. You're not buying 2 of a single hideout. You're not buying 2 versions of an armor. So because it's a one-time purchase, I can see why they push the price to make it so that they make more, because you're not coming back to purchase that multiple times.
Oh, totally. And I don't know. To me, it's like if you were Naira to run a company and have the discussion, I would see an equal amount of pros and cons on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Expensive for the one time or cheap for the multiple purchases. But for me, the cheap isn't just because of that one product. It's, okay, I could have 10 armor sets now if they were cheaper. And I probably would have spent just with how I spend money, how I view it, how it clicks in my head, I'd probably have way more armor sets and probably would have spent 2 or 3 times more money if they were cheaper, because I'm looking at all these different sets. Oh, I'd love that one. I'd love that one. I'd love that one. I think the only armor set I've ever purchased a full price that wasn't on, not a sale, but a really crazy sale that they sometimes have, was the clown set, the Ringmaster. I think that's the only one I've ever spent money on. I mean, full price money. Anyway, that was just are you the opposite? You just buy whatever whenever?
I do tend to, but I don't think I often buy anything because I buy the packs, so I usually have quite a few points. So I can use, I like, that's why I was asking you, like, what is this worth? I don't know if I buy a pack and I've got 2,000 points, I don't know what that means. I have no clue. So it's not that I don't look at the set and go like, oh, I'm about to spend $30 on these wings or something like that. I just go, well, those wings, you know what I mean? So because I'm not buying the points to buy that item, I have the points from buying packs. So then it's not the same as going like, oh man, that pet is $21. For me, it's like, oh, that's 10% of my points. So whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't think of it that way.
Did you see the support packs? Oh yeah, no, we've already talked Scourge. That's right. Did you like these support packs that were there? Scourge.
I think I bought both. Was it 2? I think I bought both of them actually. That was yes, I did. I did buy both of those. Primordial and Triumphant.
I thought they were both epic, but I had a very difficult time choosing between the one with the pet or the one with the portal. The jerk split them up and I couldn't choose, and then I ended up not getting any.
Yeah, I want to say I got them both because I liked it's a portal on one, and I don't remember. I think I liked the armor of the other one. I can't remember. I don't remember, but I did get both of them.
Nice. Yep. And the people. Wow, I am out to lunch. Hey, I get interrupted
take a 4-minute
for
break, and you can't even talk.
I know, right? No, my son's doing a great job. He's homesick today, but batteries are running low on the device that's keeping him quiet for the podcast. So I had to figure out where that was.
He's like, fix this, or I'm coming
well,
back.
Here's the crazy thing: it's my wife's tablet, and I actually don't get tablets. Like I don't know what it is, but I'm like, I'm like, son, you know how to like set this up and watch this and do all that on the tablet? And he looks at me, he's like, yeah, it's just like the TV. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. Okay, so you're good then.
Phew.
That's right. Anyway, it was low. We had to find that cord. It's been busy with everything all discombobulated, so we had to find it. So thanks for your patience. But
good word, Ty.
I love that GGG does this. I say this every time, but you know how we get something just for watching the stream that GGG puts out?
Yes.
Did you see the wings?
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, they look awesome. And wings are sometimes like $30 in their store.
They are.
So
somebody told me that my Sin and Innocence, because I have the Sin and Innocence wings that are combined.
Yeah.
That apparently they're super expensive. I got them in the mystery box and just combined them back whenever that was, long time ago. But yeah, wings can be crazy expensive. Really, definitely. Though, that's what you see a lot.
Yeah. Well, those
like
comboed
wings?
ones are always double the price.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in the store now, like they'll sell, like anytime they come out with those and then you have the combination, they'll sell them individually, but they do sell the comboed version. And that's where you see like the $84 armor sets instead of, 50.
I have a question for you. So they're giving those wings away for the Twitch drop if you watch when they do their Sentinel live stream, which is going to be fun next week. It's on Thursday. That's not normal, right? It's normally, is it not normally? Maybe it is normally on a Thursday. I guess it's not normally on the day we record. It just seemed, I was getting stressed yesterday because Soja was saying in your stream, he was asking if I was going to watch it. And I said, when is it? It's the 5th. So, and for some reason I had it in my head that it was the Friday. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to. I'm hoping to though, but I thought it was always 1 week. I thought they said it was 1 week before league launch, which really stressed me out because then I was like, well, if the league launch is on the 12th, I am effed. I can't play at all on the 12th. And so, but I looked it up and it's on the 13th. So I don't know. Yeah, I just always thought it was exactly the week before, but it's not like it's been a consistent thing. They've only been doing this for whatever it is. I don't know. Since COVID?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I feel like they've always been doing it. The only reason they haven't always been doing this in my memory is because I remember saying, I like that they're doing this now. But to me, this is how they've always done it now. So it's awesome.
You got to watch for 45 minutes to get the thing. I assume they're probably doing like a Q&A thing afterwards with Ziggy, are they?
I think so. I think I read something like that in a previous statement.
Cool. Sweet.
Oh, hey, I'm going to do one quick thing here. I got a question for you. Remind me about Bex not being a liar. Okay. Events, event calendar.
We can't talk about, you don't want to talk about, what do we look, it's not a conversation for now?
Well, this is just one of those things where it's like, I go to GGG's website and I go and click on their calendar and there's nothing. Like I go and click on event calendar. So like there's just no way unless you follow them. There's nothing that's just, if you click on it, it just shows you what's coming up. That'd be really nice. Like live announcement. Like once they have those dates, put them in a calendar.
Don't consider them events, maybe?
Oh, whatever.
I don't see an actual calendar. It just says event schedule. Is that what you're seeing?
I see under events, it says League Ladders, events calendar, and private leagues.
Yeah, but when you click event calendar, it just says event schedule.
Right, yeah.
No current
but it'd be
events.
nice if they had a calendar. I mean, even if it doesn't have to be events,
especially
you
for
move
this
it somewhere else,
sure.
like under home, and then make a calendar. And then as soon as they know their live stream, you can click on it. And then it brings you to that page that shows all that information.
What does this have to do with Bex not being a liar?
It doesn't. I just remembered this before I remembered that. And neither of these are in the notes. And I needed you to help me out. And I'm glad you did because I would have forgotten. So Bex said something. We mentioned this last week that there's not going to be a dev manifesto because there's not really much. It's just going to be the normal balance stuff that obviously everybody's going to wham. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And then I saw a whole bunch of stuff, and even our Discord kind of lit up about it a little. Well, not lit up, but there's a few people in our Discord that had the same opinion that I read. But I mean, obviously, it's only a few people that are saying it. But I read it. Does she have a reputation of lying? Like, does she say one thing and then a completely opposite thing happens just for the sake of trolling and having a good time? I've never seen that before.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, no, me neither. But
I honestly, if I'm totally honest, I don't pay that much attention. I look at what actually gets released. I don't tend to pay too much attention.
Great.
I definitely don't pay attention to Reddit.
She was probably just about to come on the show, and then you go and say something like that, and now it's never coming on.
I don't look at Reddit. I see Twitter. I see the stuff they tweet, but even that, I don't see all of it. I see it when I happen to look, but I can't say, I feel like she's always been like a fun, kind of screw with you sometimes and play with words. I don't know that I've ever seen her just flat out lie. Is that,
I don't
understand.
No, and I don't think ever. I just think it was maybe just I just saw some responses being like, well, never believe that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I just thought that maybe, I don't know. I just saw it and I thought it was funny because,
I think what I someties look at with regards to her tweets is that they are cryptic. What is that? What's happening?
Just some vacuuming going on upstairs.
With what? It sounds like it's like a...
Well, remember, there's it's just empty walls here.
What kind of vacuum is that?
I don't know. Want me to go ask?
It sounds like a hyper tube.
Anyway, keep talking.
Futuristic. Well, all I'm saying is I think her stuff tends to be cryptic. Wait, didn't the robot do the vacuuming in the Jetsons? I feel like she did the vacuuming. Anyway, I I think her stuff is cryptic, and I
Yeah,
like that.
And I love it.
I
Absolutely
don't.
love it.
I can't imagine that I've ever seen her say one thing purposefully that was entirely a lie. I don't think that's the case.
No.
I've never seen that before, and that would surprise me quite a bit. I can't imagine she would say like, "Oh, I don't know." I can't even think of something because I think that's ridiculous. I don't think she would just say something that was full on false.
Yeah.
But I do think she's cryptic, and I love that. I think that's fun.
I still think my favorite tweet ever in terms of teasers and stuff, and there's been so many good ones, especially because they really like playing with people and they like playing with a lot of rumors. But I still think my favorite one is when they were coming out with Heist. I think it was like 13. I'm gonna have like
bunch of these
600
things
new
around it.
gems, 13 new NPCs. They list a whole bunch of stuff that each one individually you'd think is like, no way. No way.
Because I think they said like one of these or two of these will be in the game or something.
Or just
and
some
then
like,
they listed,
which one of
5
these
or
do you
6
think
things,
are
and
going
it was
to be?
all of them.
Yeah, yeah. So I just loved that one because that one was like outside the box thinking for Tyler. So anyway, no, I thought it was awesome. And I just saw some of those comments and I'm like, that's not the impression I get.
No, I've never had that thought.
Yeah. Crazy people. Watch. She probably does all the time. And we're just like, eh. Anyway.
No, I don't think so. How was your PoE week?
I had one. Did you?
No.
I tried to sit down and play quite a few times.
Hold on. I just want to say, this close to a league launch, I never, ever play.
Oh, yeah. True.
Ever.
True.
I don't want to be burned out as I get into a new league because I want to hit a new league hard, and I can't do Path of Exile. I just can't play it 3 whole months. It burns me out.
Yep.
And I want new leagues to be fresh. So yeah, no, I pay attention to everything going on besides Reddit. I don't read Reddit, but yeah, no, I don't usually play for like the month leading up to, even though this is my favorite league ever. This is my favorite one for sure. I still no interest in playing right now because it's too close. What'd you do?
I had vacuuming's done. I tried to sit down and play a few times, totally scheduled it. Like I don't actually write it down on my phone, but I really want to play a few times and I only got to play once for about an hour and a half. It was one of those where it was like, I felt like playing quite a few builds, but I actually want to start a new Scion over and start leveling it. And that's fine at this stage of the game for me because I play standard anyway. But it was like an hour and a half. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm like, what am I going to do? Act 1 in an hour and a half for my play style. So I'm like, do I want to do Act 1 or do I want a map? I'm getting an hour and a half. And it was just like last night or 2 nights ago. So I ended up just playing like 1 or 2 maps of a few different builds. And I had a good time. It was fun to hang out with people on Twitch. But I also did some Reddit posting and replying this week. And you know what? It's getting a lot better. But this was a douche-focused week, unfortunately. Like somebody's like, they post a picture, right? And it's like, this is what happens when you level with skills you like instead of leveling with skills that are good, right? You know, like kind of like how I like to level. And so then they had a picture of them defeating or passing the campaign and they had like 300 and something deaths. Right, my kind of thing, and so I write, hilarious. I can totally relate. It gets downvoted. How? I know it's just mind-boggling the children that are out there. And then somebody actually starts criticizing me for having shallow replies just so that I can have fluff, so that I can advertise on Reddit for the podcast.
Wait, are you
Somebody
serious?
actually called me out for like, you have such garbage replies trying to meet your minimum amount of posts just so that you're allowed to post about your podcast on Reddit.
Wait, so somebody actually is following you along with your posts?
I have people that follow me just to downvote me, which is absolutely insane. And
that is hilarious.
It is. And the crazy thing is even though there is kind of a limit, like you're not supposed to do that, or like you're not allowed to like self promo, you have to be extremely active on Reddit to be able to promo. I only reply to stuff that interests me, right? Like my phone, I'm always making sure that I'm replying to stuff that interests me and that it's relevant. And I can't remember the last time.
What is wrong with you saying that you relate to that? I don't understand.
They for some reason think that I needed more substance to my comments. And it was just a hilarious conversation.
Well, they're listening
on my
right
side.
now, so thank you for listening to the podcast. You giant douchebag.
It was so I don't know. Everybody goes through stuff. I've had my share of very silly criticisms of other people that I was very embarrassed about later. So, but it's just one of those things where it was like one after another of those types of comments on Reddit this week. So, but Reddit's actually been a lot better since a couple leagues ago when I think Chris mentioned in one of his Twitch things that they actually considered stopping with Reddit just because of the toxicity of it. And then there was a re-emphasis on how just how picky the mods would need to be and how much busier they would be. So it's been a much better experience, but it was a douche week this week. It was hilarious. And there was a few other examples as well, but that one was one of my favorites. So yeah. But here's another thing. So as a guide writer, right, you're always getting, love and praise, but then also criticisms as well. And sometimes the criticisms are well-founded, makes sense. Sometimes the criticisms are from douche canoes. And, or I guess a douche canoe is the vehicle that their mom bought them that they drive around in. You remember that? Mm-hmm. Hang on. Can we bring that up? I really want to read that.
What, like the word?
I remember laughing. Hang on. Douche.
I'm sure Chris introduced us to that word.
Oh, I would not be surprised. UrbanDictionary.com. A douche canoe is someone who exceeds the limits of being a normal douche or douchebag. And then the next one, douche canoe, a vehicle filled to capacity with a group of major douchebags, usually a luxury SUV, most often owned or purchased by the parents of one of the douche magooshes inside. The group of individuals who pour out of a douche canoe can be affectionately referred to as a shitstorm of douchebags.
Perfect.
If that douche canoe tries to swoop us in the Taco Bell line, I will go fisticuffs on that whole storm of douchebags inside. Thank you, Urban Dictionary, for enlightening me. Anyway, so anyway, there's a people, in regards to what I just read that are having a good time on the guide forums, and I wanted to point out to people that, how do I say it? Thank you very much for being vocal with your encouragement. I know that there's with every kind of guide creator out there, or content creator, not guide creator, sorry to be specific, but with every type of community creator out there, they're trying hard. Doesn't matter if their content is good or bad or the way you like it, but they're trying really hard. They're putting in a lot of hours. And there's a lot of people that see that content and don't say anything. And that's totally fine. But when somebody actually takes the time to write either any length of encouragement, even if it's only 5 words, it hits home. It is encouraging. And so there were a lot of people there. It was really nice to have backup from the community this time when some of these douche magooshes are replying and not paying attention, or just thinking that because I don't play their way that, everything's brutal and horrible and everybody needs to know about it. So thank you very much to the people that were extremely encouraging and took the time to actually do it. But I also want to encourage people to, it really does help people. It really does change. And so if you see someone that you respect in the community, or you just see someone being a douche, take the 2 seconds to write and be positive and help the person out that's getting cut down a bit. It really does help them because, they have their normal life after they would leave their computer or console. Douche magoosh, just from a douche canoe.
Yeah, I think... let's move on. Or,
no, totally. No.
I can't. No, I'm not saying it in the sense of moving on your stuff. I can't stand.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Turds on Reddit.
Don't need to rag on them. And they can change too. But sometimes
it just, I like the idea of a community where you can talk about the game and have, people can communicate. I just don't like that it can be, for me, an experience I'd rather just skip because of a really, 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 really small minority of people that are just... They're there to be turds. I think it is hilarious that you have a fan that actually follows you to tell you that your posts are not good posts. I think that's hilarious. And also, because that's the rules of that Reddit, that subreddit. If I had to post on Reddit, which is why I don't, we tried it in the beginning and I wasn't allowed to.
Justin was the guy.
That's literally what I would be doing. I would be writing, cool, high five, nice moves. I would do it 10 of them in a row really quick, and then I would post.
Perfect.
So
there you go.
At least you're paying attention to stuff you like.
That's good. It's good.
Yep.
Now we're I really want to talk about this thing, and we just keep on talking. I want to talk about Ascendancies, but also want to talk about Archnemesis. I want to know what. Oh, look! Thanks Google for space. It's not spaced Google. Archnemesis is one word in Path of Exile land. Screw you. Now's a good time to talk about our review, per se, unofficial review of Archnemesis, right? Just what we think on the spot of it, because of course the new league will be announced by our next episode. So we'll be moving on. So do you want to do
exciting.
that now? I really want to talk about
Yeah.
specific ascendancies as well.
You better move it, bud.
All right, Archnemesis.
What do you got? What is this? Just like an overall?
Yeah, like tell me about Archnemesis. It's coming to an end. You said it was your favorite league. Obviously, that's coupled with core changes, not Archnemesis, but
yeah.
I don't care if you throw it all together. Just let me know what you think of it. 317 J-Dog.
So
That's what his parents named him. His nickname's Justin.
My review is not on Archnemesis. It's on 317.
Fine.
And I know that it's the league is Archnemesis, but Archnemesis was fine. You know what I mean? Like it was. I think they could still make the actual mechanic of Archnemesis better with regards to the drops, with regards to trying to sort the things that drop that let you create the Archnemesis and stuff. I think they could improve on that, but the end game and the core game is amazing. It is my favorite iteration of Path of Exile's end game ever. It is so much fun. It's so easy. The Atlas is incredible. It is fun. It's really fun. I get to play the game the way I want to play the game. So my overall like review is more on 317 in general, not so much Archnemesis. I think Archnemesis is fun. I like that it didn't take me out of the map. I could choose to do it. It was actually worthwhile for some stuff, depending on how you built them up and how you comboed the little, I don't even know what they're called. What were the things called that you used in the Archnemesis statue thing? Yeah, whatever they were. How you could combo those was cool. I just think that part could have been done a little bit better, but the league itself was amazing. It was so good, and I'm really excited to see what 318 holds, because I know that that's still the end game, which I love. You know, the end game's not changing. My Atlas, it's not any new end game. The Atlas passives, there's no way that's ever going away, and that part is my favorite of Path of Exile right now. I still would love to see something that was play the axe once and then subsequent characters can get through it faster. I would love to see that one day, but yeah, Archnemesis was the actual part of Archnemesis was at least fine. I don't have anything negative to say about it, but the 317 in general, incredible. I absolutely loved it.
Cool.
What about you?
I really, really liked it. Obviously, all the 317 changes. I mean, they had controller support, the amazing Atlas passive tree. I mean, I'm nervous about the changes because I just really think that it really came out balanced, their Atlas passive tree. But obviously, I'm sure there's going to be stuff that they're going to change. But so I'm nervous about it, but it's exciting, right? Like the second iteration of this Atlas tree, maybe they won't make any changes, but it'll be like, solid, a lot more of the permanent aspect of it because, they've had this whole league of experience now. So, but I think that was absolutely awesome. I really think they're listening to the feedback they get regarding enemy clutter in the game. I know there's only so much you can do with the current game and the current way it's set up and all that kind of stuff. There's not much you can change, but a lot of their new mechanics have been a lot less cluttery. And I like that. And so I really like these battles. Like I know people are like, oh, well, this is Metamorph 2.0 and for some reason the next one they're calling, like Metamorph 3.0 or whatever. But I like it because I can see what's going on. One thing that drove me nuts about Metamorph, for example, was the morphing changes were just so I couldn't see what was happening. Took me a while to figure out which form they were in, and then there was so much else going on. Whereas with Archnemesis, I really found that for the league mechanic battles themselves, there was a very good balance between a quantity of enemies, being able to see the tells of the big one, like the big one if they were like a bigger enemy, and it not being so cluttered that you couldn't tell what was going on. Like it was probably some of the clearest fights that I've seen in the game that I've interacted with, and I really appreciated that. The ingredient system was pretty neat. I was pretty apathetic to it, but I thought it was still pretty neat. But I did enjoy the battles. I was pretty apathetic with what I threw in, and I just like, yeah, let's go. If it had borders around it, I'm like, let's get them in. I just wanted to fight, and it was fun because the battles actually made sense to me. I could see what was happening. Almost everything I could see a tell was. And the nice thing is I could see tells from enemies that already exist in the game. Like these are trapped enemies that already exist, like those spinning cage guys or whatever. So they're enemies I'm already familiar with. But now I'm getting to spend, and now I'm getting to spend
versus Metamorph
more time with them.
For sure.
see their tells, see that stuff, but now they're beefed up. I thought it was a really good
You could also
combination.
choose it too, which was great.
Very.
Because if you go like, oh shoot, I don't want to add Gargantuan to one of those spinning cage dudes and just make him have infinite life. That was actually really nice in comparison to Metamorph, where you were like,
right, yeah, right.
Well, who knows what this thing's going to be?
250% more life. All right. Yeah. So, but no, it was nice, and I think to me, it's like a very good Metamorph replacement. Just especially because of how the animations work. I can't see what's happening in any Metamorph battle, even if it's just them, because of how they switch and like how the sludge moves and how they teleport. Like that kind of stuff just isn't a good battle to me. But these battles were battles that I could tell what was going on. And almost every time I died, it was because I was zoning out or I built it stupid strong. Like I didn't put the mod combos properly with the type of base enemy that it was. I guess maybe my only criticism would be I know nothing about that enemy, and there's nothing in the game that tells me about that. I mean, it's kind of like the whole criticism of how specters work. There's no information for me about any enemies anywhere in the game. But that's not really, like, you get used to those enemies. Yeah, like from specters, that's a totally different thing because you need to know like damage outputs and stuff. So for this, that was such a minor thing. I like as you get used to the enemies, you're like, oh crap, there's another one of those cage guys. I'm gonna skip it or I'm gonna do something else. I even loved that the new concept, well, maybe new. Like even when you go back to ritual, you want to get every single ritual, right? You go to all the other mechanics that we have, whether it's Nico or Jun or whoever, you want them all, right? Because they only have the cap within the map. Whereas with this league, I'm throwing out a number. They're not right numbers, but let's say that they throw out 20 Archnemesis and you just pick any ones you want and you can only do 3 or 4 or whatever it was. I loved that. And then the other ones are just, boop, they're gone. I just thought that was like, it was a really well thought out league in my opinion. And there was a very few actual changes to the league. It came out really solid. And a lot of the patches that came out weren't league specific. They were like game and core specific, but I think the only change there was one change they did, which was how
the drops, they did affect the menu,
right?
The UI,
like how the recipe system worked within the menu. But in terms of how those mods interacted with those enemies and those Archnemesis, like a lot of the stuff just stayed the way that it was for a while, and it was very impressive. I'm really liking this new GGG since Heist. It's really starting to shine through, in my opinion. I think this league is a good testament to that. And if you don't like my opinion, stick it. Oh, no, did that just echo in my mic? It did. I heard that. Sorry about that.
Probably. Yeah, I agree. It's a good league. I'm excited for the next one.
You're glaring at me because I have this subject that I've been wanting to bring up for forever, and we're already past the hour mark, even though there's been a few breaks.
So, what do you want to talk about Ascendancies?
So here's the thing. Some Ascendancies have
what do you got?
Never really needed to change. They're very generic, but they give you a lot. They still have their theme, but they're generic enough that almost anybody can use them. The Jug would be a fantastic example of that. They don't give you specific damage. They just increase damage. They don't give you specific types of defenses. They just give you generic defense, right? I think the only specific thing within the Jug would be the one Ascendancy node that gives you 1,000 accuracy. And even that's still generic because it's 4 attacks, but it also has a whole bunch of other stuff in there, like can't be stunned and can't be chilled. Like that's crazy. So anyway, so there's some Ascendancies that are generic enough that they don't really handcuff somebody that's looking to theory craft and try something new. But then there's other Ascendancies, for example, the Occultist. Very strong and very strong in it has 25% more curse efficiency than any other option, than any other class. I think the only other one is Scion. And it's basically cold or chaos, right? And then there is the power charge one on the top right. Unless you're doing like curses and power charges, you're basically only doing the Occultist if you're doing chaos damage or cold damage. And it's not necessarily, I wouldn't know a better way of doing it because you have to be able to have Ascendancies that are super strong in some areas. And that's just how it goes. Kind of like, the Gladiator with blocking, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, like it's tricky. You do have to have some specifics, but I do find, and this is the subject that Tarky brought up in our episode 100, that when they came out with Ascendancies, it actually kind of funneled where you could take your theory crafting because of how strong these specific focuses were within certain ascendancies, right? And now I still love the ascendancies and I have favorite ascendancies, and it's a lot of fun to, okay, well, the occultist is definitely the go-to for this, but I'm going to try it with something else and see how it goes. And, a lot of the times people are surprised. A lot of the times people follow too closely to what the superstars are playing, and everyone who does different is an idiot, per se, quote unquote, right? So I do think that there still is a lot of freedom there, but I was thinking about how could you get away from the specifics of the ones that the ascendancies that are too funneled, that you feel like you're just wasting your time by considering any other ascendancy. How could you change these ascendancies but still keep Path of Exile the way that it is with a class? And you know what I came up with, Justin?
Well, hold on. I'm just going to counter that. Can I quickly? Or
Yeah,
just
do whatever you want.
Comment towards that?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave though. So take your time. Say whatever you want. Just message me when you're back.
So here's my question for you though. Do you, in asking that question or the thought behind that, is it so that all ascendancies should be generic and that you could play any build in any class with any ascendancy? Because I like that there are ascendancies that are specific. I like that if I'm going to play a certain type of damage or a certain type of skill, that I know that that ascendancy is probably the most optimized for it. Now, granted, like you said, you could go different routes, but there is one ascendancy that's going to be more optimized for that particular type of damage or particular type of skill that I want to play. I don't think I would ever want to have all of the ascendancies be so generic that you could play any skill, any damage on any ascendancy.
Right. No, and you know what? I'm completely on the same page as you. I love that there is a specific one to go to. I love that if you don't feel like doing the brain work, there's a very obvious choice for you. And I like that. I think you can't have, what do we have, 19 ascendancies?
Yeah, you couldn't have them all be generic. It would be impossible.
No, yeah, it's like you need to have, even if you were to make it generic, there'd still be someone, okay, well, this one's endurance charges, this one's movement speed. Like you still have your specifications. But I was trying to think of a way to, because sometimes I'm like, I really like some of the occultist notes, but I want to, like, I have to spend my whole tree traveling to the southeast to do what I want. You know what I mean? Or it's like, I really love how the Guardian's set up, but that's not where I want to be on the tree. And I'm funneled by what the Guardian, and I think whoever it is, the team, the person that structures the tree, I love the themes of the tree itself, like where you find the majority of armor and life and evasion and dex, and like just how the themes of it and how all the offense and defense just kind of intertwines. It is an extremely well-designed tree. But I still find that a lot of the times when I'm trying to theory craft and come up with ideas, I'm just like, I can't reach it. I can't get there. I do have to do this. And if it stayed this same way for forever and ever, I would be okay with it. But I was brainstorming about a way that, how could you fix this? And I came up with one idea, and you're going to love it. It has Justin written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
One class that starts in the middle. So everybody starts in the middle, but then you get to choose where you start going out from there. And it's a super scion.
No.
Yes. So this scion, you would have way more nodes to choose from. And you'd be able to just pick a lot of these
freaking
specifics.
Tree within a tree.
Yeah. Yeah. So it would be that
fun.
specific. But then you would have a whole bunch of the, let's say you take all the notables that are out there right now, and you're able to select them at your own pace or in your own order type of thing. So you'd get more. It would, I guess, I mean, I haven't thought about like the specifics of how you go about it. I'm not like actually presenting it to them, though they should do it. But
take this half thought out idea and use it.
I've been thinking about it for a long time, but just not how to get there. But no, so let's say you have 8 ascendancy nodes you can pick from. What if you could pick like any 8 keystones you want, and just keep it the same, and you could pick any 4 keystones from the ascendancies you wanted, but out of all of them? How neat would that be? Or you had like the witch section, but you didn't have to be occultist, elementalist, or something. You could pick any one of those. You could pick 8 from the whole witch, or you could pick 1 from the witch, 1 from here, 1 from there. But it was all coupled together.
I mean, they kind of have that thing right now, right? With that new unique jewels, where if you have the 2, you get the notable from that one. It's extremely rare to get the ones you want, but
But Justin,
That's
my idea.
kind of what you're suggesting. Because you could get an occultist notable as a necromancer.
Right, but you can't get that if you're starting as a champion.
That's right.
So what I'm thinking is you start off so we're all starting as whatever character. You can choose your character base, right? So you can still choose.
So you want to
if
pick
you're
and
like
choose notables from multiple ascendancies.
That would be the only way that I could think of where you're not handcuffed by a specific filter, right?
Yeah.
By an ascendancy, but you could still do whatever skill wherever you wanted. You still start on the tree.
With that is you would have way more. I think you would, where people feel like, you know how you were just talking about how people go like, oh, this is what the superstars are playing. I feel like you would have one build that 90% of the people are playing.
Oh,
because they would figure out what combination of these ascendancies makes the super character, and it works with it works with everything. And I would bet you people could put that together if you had the ability to pick all ascendancies.
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure it'd happen at some point, but then you fix something.
Well, but you
balance
it. If you opened all ascendancies up, I don't know that you would be able to balance it.
Sure.
I don't think so.
Well, you change the nodes. You do stuff. You don't just like stare at it.
I still want them to come up with a unique jewel, like I talked about, I don't even remember how long ago, where you can socket it into the skill tree, and then you can socket its partner into, like if you're a witch up in the north of the tree and you socket this up into them, you can socket then that second one into like the southeast part of the tree into a jewel socket down there. And now it's as if you had that scion start from a different spot, but you can start from that socketed unique jewel.
I think teleporting scion jewel, officially named. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Cool. It would give you the chance, and it would be hard to get or whatever, but it would give you the chance to use, because you are right. There are some, it is tough sometimes depending on how you want to play. If you want to play a witch, but there is some great stuff both in the southeast and the southwest that you might want to use. I just think it'd be a fun way to do it.
I'd love to start as a chief thing. I'd like to get a lot of the chief nodes, but then spend most of my points in the top. You know what I mean? Like you change the nodes around, and you'd choose whatever 4 you wanted, or maybe they'd have a path where it's like, okay, you're choosing to go to the witch. Now all the witch nodes are open to you, or whatever. But I don't know. That was the only thing I could think of that could take away from the funneling. But obviously, like you said, there'd be pros and cons. But my idea is amazing. So screw the pros and cons. There's only pros.
What you could do, this is just me thinking of what you're talking about, because you're talking about starting from the center. But what if you still started from your normal starting spot? But let's say as a chieftain, you're starting on that left side. Well, you're not chieftain, you're a marauder, right?
Sure.
You're starting on the left side. And instead of there being this ascendancy pop-up tree once you ascend, and this is a great way to get rid of lab as well, you have to work your way to a certain point in the tree, and that unlocks the ascendancy tree for the marauder. But if you also worked your way up to the north and there was a certain point in the north, that unlocked the witch's ascendancy tree, which would then require you to spend the points to get there, but then it could unlock multiple ascendancies.
Justin, that's amazing.
Right? Because then you don't have to, I mean, first off, you get rid of the lab, so it's a win-win.
That's right.
I don't know. I get where you're coming from, because there are a lot of times where you could certainly benefit from other ascendancies that you just can't get as a witch or as a marauder or whatever. But I wouldn't want it in a way that would make it really easy to make one super class.
No.
And so I think if you can start still from the sides and you go, well, I really want the left side of the tree for the marauder, that's my focus, but I am going to want this node from the witch. And if I spend the points to commit myself going up there, that would unlock, I don't know.
But you know what? That would be a little bit more incentive for, let's say you and I were making this decision for our game. If you did my idea, you'd be like, okay, well, what's the point of having all these different characters? And you'd be like, well, you're basically choosing your character skin and your voice lines. Whereas with your idea, you're still picking
the marauder.
Right. Yeah. So there's a little bit more to that. It does determine
and it also
your
would
starting
affect where
point.
You start. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So there is even value to that. And then everybody's not starting from the middle. Justin, your idea is
we just thought of something that will never, ever happen.
But I like your idea more than mine.
Time. Yeah,
I do.
Anyway, I think I do like that ascendancies are specific, but I know what you're talking about. I know that sometimes it feels like if you're going in one direction, you're entirely giving up on something that you could have gotten out of the other one, which I think is why a lot of people do like Scion. For me, the problem with Scion is it's not all the choices. So you're still pigeonholed into which ascendancies they make available to you, or sorry, which notables they make available to you. But also I can't wrap my head around the leveling process of the Scion and then trying to plan around eventually taking this other ascendancy. And if I get enough points into it, now I can start from 2 spots. I just don't like it. It's so much easier in my brain. And it's funny saying that, given that I just talked about an idea of like 2 jewels that let you go to opposite sides of the tree. But I don't know why. I can't wrap my head around the idea with the Scion where if I get enough points, I'm going to start as I can start from the Ranger if I want. And then I got to plan out my tree from there. It just, not for me.
DUM, Justin. Dumb, dumb, dumb.
Super dumb. Anyway, we got it in, Ty. And it was a good thing because
Justin.
we were never going to talk about that after next week.
No, after next week,
There's
it's
so
all
much going on next week.
318. Oh, we know the name. Sentinel.
Yeah.
That's what
It is
Sentinels
Sentinel.
do, right? No, Sentinels are guards.
And
Never mind.
we'll get to talk about it next week because it'll be out the day before.
Silent Sentinels.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it
All
is.
right, let's wrap up 134. Forever Exiled, the Path of Exile podcast. I'm Justin A.K. Tags.
Tyler Record Days.
Thanks for hanging out with us for this episode. Patrons will catch you in episode After Dark, also known as. And everybody else will see you in episode 135 next week after the Sentinel Twitch announcement, which is going to be great. If you're looking for more information, you can find it down below. We got a website, foreverexiled.com. We're on Twitter, foreverexiled82. We have a Discord, which is a super duper hangout place. And Patreon and other ways to support the podcast are down below or on our website. Peace.
Bye.